broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Happy birthday to you.
It's about right that the crowd boos me.
Birthday to you.
Live audience is getting cray-cray.
Christian
Rosenberg.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
It's only fitting if you start crying.
I should start crying right now, shouldn't I?
Don't try to act like you're not.
Like the original recipient was.
Well,
That made for great
well,
TV,
big thanks to CM Punk for taking time out of his UFC training schedule to wish me a happy birthday. And you are watching us live on AfterBuzzTV.com and on the AfterBuzz YouTube page. You are listening on iTunes and SoundCloud, liking, subscribing, giving them 5 stars, and telling your friends about the wonderful world of AfterBuzz. Welcome everybody. I am Christian Rosenberg. The Twitter at Will Rosenberg, the Instagram at the Will Rosenberg, the T-shirts. Great birthday present would be if you buy one at ProWrestlingTees.com/Christian Rosenberg. Full show tonight. It's been a crazy week in the world of sports entertainment, so we got to get right into things. First off, my lovely co-host, sporting a very stylish Christian Rosenberg t-shirt, which you can also buy
You're pointing at the
at
t-shirt.
ProWrestlingTees.com. Yeah, she's pointing at the t-shirt, George. ProWrestlingTees.com/Christian Rosenberg. At Chris Reports, it's Christy Olsen.
Hello.
Hello there.
T-shirt down here.
Yes, the t-shirt is up above and below as well. It covers
Yay.
everything. By the way, Christy, thank you so much for this lovely little cake you brought in for me today.
You're very welcome.
I like chocolate cake.
I brought you cookies.
And George brought me cookies. Yeah, Scott's out this week. He's actually doing a play the next couple weeks. So filling in for him this week, the encyclopedia of sports entertainment at G Hermoza.
That's right.
It's George Hermoza.
You can follow me. I forgot my name. You can follow me at G Hermoza on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, PlayStation Network.
Does anyone actually play you on
you're
PlayStation
sounding
Network?
really desperate
They
right
never
now.
challenged me. I'm here for a challenge. I might open up a Twitch soon. We'll see. I might have a YouTube channel called Down
You
Down
s-
Up Up.
You say that like the world is waiting for you to start
On bated
twitching.
breath.
Yeah.
Well, somebody's got to
Left,
be
left, right.
Somebody's got to be confident about
Select
it.
start.
If I'm not going to be confident about it, no one else is.
And you guys got
Talking like it's his birthday.
You guys got a collection of figures in front of you this week. First off, Christy, would you describe your? Well, I don't know what these are called.
These are from that mystery bubble box from GameStop. That's like $4.99.
They're called mystery minis.
Mystery minis.
Thank you,
I
at
got
the Jimbo Slice,
Cena.
engineering us in the booth. What's up, Jimbo?
Hello.
Hello.
Happy early birthday.
I'm sure
Thank
he's
you.
got more.
James
long-
actually found Nikki and Brie to my Daniel Bryan and John Cena, so I am forever grateful.
Jimbo Slice probably has more cardio than Kimbo Slice. I would hope so.
Boo. If we got that type of material on my birthday episode, George.
If you would have saw his fight last week, then you'd know exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, I didn't watch it because I had much better things to do. But you have
fight
a
ever.
figure of one of the most underrated stars? Question mark.
Okay.
One of the most stylish.
Very stylish. You got an action figure of Rico in front of you.
Manager of Billy and Chuck.
Manager Billy and Chuck.
Chuck and Billy.
Tag team with
ta-
Charlie Haas.
Charlie Haas, yeah.
Former American Gladiator winner. I don't know if he's still a police officer.
I heard he is.
All right.
In Nevada. I
Yeah.
heard he's the nicest guy.
That's so random that you have a figure of him.
Well, I mean, like I said, I put my hand in a box of my figures, and out came one of the Geminis from like 10 years ago. And I was like, no. Let me try again.
Oh, George, by the way, the chat roll says you forgot to plug your MySpace.
Yeah.
Well, follow me on MySpace. And LiveJournal. Don't forget. Don't forget.
LiveJournal.
Don't forget. And one last thing.
Friendster?
Is that where you share your thoughts?
AOL Instant Messenger.
Oh.
God.
I thought you were about to say classmates.
Does that still
That I
work?
have no idea what it is.
Like, do they still have that?
I don't know. It's called texting.
Right.
That's pretty much what it is now.
Did I say Snapchat? Snapchat.
Yeah, yes, you said Snapchat.
Okay.
I thought I plugged myself a lot. Jeez. ProWrestlingTees.com/Christian Rosenberg. Anyway, guys, Fastlane happened. Pretty much overall, for the most part, kind of what we predicted would be happening leading in to WrestleMania.
Almost exactly what we
But then
predicted.
Raw threw a giant wrench into everything. And then that led us into tonight's SmackDown too. We begin with the Game, the Cerebral Assassin, the King of Kings, the Authority, the every other name that
The
he would
American
give
Blue
himself.
Blood.
Yeah, there you go.
I would call him an Oscar contender after tonight's little monologue.
Oh.
Just saying.
Well, he's also your WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Triple H. Comes out, first off, he quotes the Rolling Stones, and he says their song Symphony of the Devil could have been written about him. Brags about how he beat up Roman Reigns on Raw, where we saw some blood.
Lots of blood.
And then we saw photos of Reigns with his nose all kind of patched up. And he's talking about the things that Roman Reigns needs to be great, to be a champion. You need to put in that blood, sweat, and tears. Britain was talking about he's had his sweat over him when they fought. He pulls out the tape that he had wrapped around his fists on Raw that are covered in blood. It's like, now I have the blood. At WrestleMania, I'll just get those tears when I beat you.
I
in
like
one
that
go.
line.
I liked it a lot too.
You don't really hear that much that kind of realness these days with those promos.
Yeah.
I liked it. What did you think?
I thought it was fantastic.
Oh, I forgot that.
She
you
said
thought
Oscar
Oscar winning, apparently. Apparently because they give away Oscars for wrestling show. It'd be an Emmy, sweetie. He should get an Emmy.
Are you really going to school
Well,
me?
it's also live entertainment.
This is my area.
Could it be a Tony? I mean,
Maybe.
Oh, maybe he'll have an EGOT.
I didn't even know what the hell that is.
That's when you have an
Emmy,
Emmy, a
Grammy,
Grammy,
an
an Oscar,
Oscar,
and a
and a Tony.
Tony.
Oh.
Or maybe he should get a Slammy for best acting performance. They have
I
Slammys
mean,
for like every
that
award.
may be highly more likely, but whatever.
I'm just saying.
Haha, I got you guys talking about award shows for like 2 minutes.
Well, the Oscars are this Sunday. The Oscars are on my birthday. My birthday's this Sunday. The Oscars decided to
You're
celebrate.
supposed to pretend like today's your birthday.
No, I can say it's my
We're like Smackdown. We're taping your birthday today, but
Right.
it's Sunday.
Well, yeah, my birthday is this Sunday. You guys won't hear me before my birthday since then. So today will be my birthday episode. Hooray. But yeah, so we're set with Triple H and Reigns. A lot of people...
Need to school George.
What?
Somebody put in the chat, Christy needs to school George.
A lot of people
That's
need to
right,
school
Green
you.
Thunder.
Yeah,
But yeah, so for a while, we pretty much knew this match was going to happen. But after Raw, I started getting excited for it. I did, because, I mean, we're getting like the old school Triple H. Not just the suit wearing Triple H. And he kind of talked about that in his promo as well. He's like, I know some people may forget, because they see me in the suit, they see me in charge. They forget that I beat the crap out of people.
Yeah, it was kind of a little throwback to like his 2000,
Like the Evolution days.
No, not even like even before then, like the McMahon Helmsley era.
Oh, okay.
Back in 2000, when he would come out and say, I am that damn good. I was like, oh, cool. You're kind of mixing. I like he's mixing today and still kind of being relevant as far as the Triple H. I kind of not on something we all remember, but the guy that kind of I don't even know what I'm saying. Like when he got really good. When he got really, really good, like around that 99, 2000 era. Glimpses of that kind of Triple H, I guess you could say.
Little, what is it, eons? A scotch of it?
Yeah.
A morsel?
He just didn't tell anyone to suck anything this time.
Did you buy a thesaurus for your birthday? Those are all good words.
I'm another year older, I'm another year wiser. I'm older than most of the hosts here.
Oh,
But you got that baby face.
Well, because I also like next week, and I guess as a cheap plug, when The Voice starts up again, I do the AfterBuzz for that, and they all treat me like I'm their dad.
really?
On that show. So watch that on Monday night to find out.
The chat roll thinks you're 17.
I thank you. Actually, Sunday I will be 33 years young. So
Wow.
I know I'm older than half of the WWE roster, but the half that you don't see on TV.
Yeah, right. So they're not as accomplished. It's fine.
Right.
Probably, but there's a lot of people that are older. Like we found out Christian. We found out Curtis Axel a lot older than we thought he was.
Yeah, we'll get into that a little later on. But yeah, I'm like, wow, Curtis Axel he's 36. I didn't realize he was that old.
Forgot my belt.
Oh, that's a good thing that you forgot your predictions belt.
It's too easy, anyways.
Wow. I hate you.
3 out of the last 4.
Get off my show.
3 out of the last 4.
Shut
You
up.
could have let Christian hold it just for the day for his birthday. So you
I
could remember
I
how
haven't
it
bought a
feels.
shirt yet.
I can probably speak for Christian where it's even if I let him hold it, it's like just not the same when you're not the champion.
That's fair.
You know?
That's fair. But speaking of Roman Reigns and Triple H, apparently this week's Believe That has to do it. So we'll go right into that. And for those of you that might be new to the show, because every week we get new viewers, new listeners, because you guys continue to spread the awesome word of AfterBuzz by liking and subscribing on iTunes and giving us them 5 stars. If you haven't heard the show before, we do a segment called Believe That because Christy absolutely loves the dirt sheets. I think they're almost as fake as an episode of Total Divas. What? Oh.
No, he
Wow.
didn't. Oh, you're so lucky it's your birthday, right?
That's why I saved that line for today. But anyway, Christy found a story that she really likes. She shares it with all of us, and we decide whether or not we believe it or not. Now, to be fair, last week, the story was Undertaker's opponent is someone that is not on the current roster. And we weren't quite sure. Obviously, we had no idea who. We were taking random guesses. We're going to get into that a little bit later. But that story ended up being true.
And I don't think
So
anyone guessed Shane McMahon.
Well, if they did, they deserve an Oscar.
Or a Slammy.
Or a Slammy. But let's get into this week's Believe That. What do we got?
This is a juicy one tonight, guys, now that we're done with that whole Undertaker thing. So, Roman Reigns, we all know he had nose surgery after this Triple H beatdown that happened on Raw. But the blogs are saying that the surgery was actually for a pre-existing issue that needed to be taken care of, and that they did plan the blood spot. There is video of Byron Saxton handing Roman Reigns a blood packet, but he was already bleeding at that point. So WWE wanted blood, but it was even more than what they had planned for, and that's why there were no close-ups. And this whole thing was really just a setup for Roman Reigns to go get the surgery that he needed anyway. Gentlemen, do you believe that?
I absolutely believe the fact that, like, you know, if he needed surgery, they're going to do a story for it. Whether or not Byron Saxton handed him something,
It's on video.
I know. I saw the video of his hand going into Reigns' hand. You don't see whether or not he literally handed him something or not. But I mean, I know this from my days when I was a referee, because a lot of time wrestlers would, you know, what they call blade, kind of like cut themselves a little bit to make it bleed. A lot of wrestlers would normally tape it into their wrist tape, and then when the time came, they kind of picked it out and took care of it. Some wrestlers were afraid of that, and I remember a specific time early on in my referee days. I had a wrestler who, in his match, he was supposed to bleed, and before the match, I'm reffing his match, he hands me the little blade. He's like, "Can you hand this to me at this spot?" I'm like, "Nope. No way am I keeping that in my pocket and handing it to you and dealing with that." I'm like, "I'm sorry, I ain't gonna do it." He wasn't happy with me.
In Bret Hart's
You're so
book,
PG.
he talks about keeping him in his mouth between his lip and his gum, which I thought was insane.
That is insane.
But I thought the blood on Raw looked fake. Like,
And-
it didn't sit right, and when it was all on, like, Triple H's, like, hands, and it just didn't look... It looked like Kool-Aid. It didn't look like real blood.
Yeah, and yeah, there's not like if it was a capsule per se. I mean, yeah, it's gonna look completely different. It's gonna smear a lot easier. So, I mean, you can make the argument either way. I mean, I do agree certainly that he had to have this procedure done prior. I mean, and you can even see on Raw before everything, like when he was cutting the promo backstage with JoJo, he had this weird mark on his nose.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
So like it was like, oh, there's already some issue with the nose. But so I believe that it was preemptive for the surgery. Whether or not he was handed something, I mean,
I kind of believe.
I'll leave
Like
it up
at
to
first,
the
yeah, I was like, dude, that looked real. You know, obviously
looked great.
We're all under the impression of like, ooh, they're not allowed to bleed on TV.
Except Lesnar, apparently.
So it must be real. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I think that was our first impression. So like, oh, you know, of course it was real. Of course he broke his nose. But then I was thinking about it, and obviously WWE's a very visual product. Like, and obviously in a choreographed / sports entertainment kind of environment, you want things to look as real as possible. And if you go back to like I guess was it July August when Cena broke his nose, how many times did we see a picture of that face with a broken nose?
Quite a few.
Quite a few. And we didn't see a single shot of Roman Reigns without the bandage. You know, like you want to get a good visual of it. So the fact that we never saw a visual of it, we only saw like the picture with the thing with after surgery. It's like that's where I kind of started having my doubts about like. But then the story came out where like, well, he probably needed a procedure done, so it does kind of fit that thing. So yeah, it was a little heartbreaking knowing that it didn't really happen.
It's kind of like Vince McMahon taking the F5 right before he went out for hip surgery or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, there are those things where all of a sudden someone needs to leave for knee surgery and their leg happens to get swung across the ring post and they're being carted out. I mean, there are always those stories with it. The important thing with it is this is not an injury that would keep him out of Mania. It would just be out. My guess is 2 or 3 weeks. Because if they lost,
that.
If they lost their main event, hey, Ambrose, guess what? You are getting a shot because you're all we got left.
People wouldn't hate it.
Oh no, they would love it. They would certainly love it.
Yeah, you guys both believe that.
Yeah, I guess we did this week. Maybe I'm just in a good mood because you got me cake.
Yeah.
And the classic rule in wrestling is if there's cake,
then we have to eat it.
Well, no, it's going to end up on someone.
That? Oh, right, that. Yeah.
Oh,
so
no.
Show's still early. I'm just letting you know.
It looks just fine where it is.
For now.
I'm good with where it is right now.
There's still plenty of time in the show.
I got some of your birthday sugar cookies over there that you also gave me. I'm full of sugar today, which is great.
You're so sweet.
By the way, I think Jerry Lawler was kind of full of sugar for picking out his shirt tonight. What the hell was he wearing?
That was a Legends of the Hidden Temple shirt. I am almost positive. That was like the Green Monkeys or whatever.
Yeah, it was like this weird like medallion.
I never liked that show
thing.
I was more a fan of Guts.
I was big on Nick Arcade.
Nick Arcade was a shiznit.
Yeah.
Oh, but that was even before my time.
I am older than you.
Yeah.
So. I'm an old man.
Oh, Mac, I got your back, Christy.
Yes! Oh, Mac. He was in the middle of
I didn't know his name. I know the show. I didn't know the name. But yeah, it was a little different. It's good that Morrow was back after being ill last week. He looked good in his suit. Byron looks good in the suit. We expect the usual crown dark with a bunch of Ed Hardy type stuff t-shirt on Jerry Lawler. And then we got this green medallion thing. I'm like, all right.
I want to know how much that shirt cost.
$2,000.
Probably. Probably.
We go from there to some 8-man tag team action. Lucha Dragons, Neville, and Dolph Ziggler versus the League of Nations. First off, I believe now we have a new drinking game that we can do.
Yay!
Every time the League of Nations all together wave their arms around, you take a shot, and you'll be passed out before you can say fella.
I call everyone fella when I drink.
Oh, there you go. And that game suits you perfectly. The biggest story I felt in this match was the fact that, wait, Jimmo, do we have any type of like breaking news type soundbite or some like huge announcement thing? Not necessarily news and gossip one, but I guess we'll use that.
AfterBuzz TV exclusive.
There you go. We'll make this an exclusive. Ladies and gentlemen, I look directly at the camera when I tell you this very important matter. Wade Barrett actually wrestled. It happened. That was kind of delayed, but it's okay. The most inactive wrestler in history finally started moving around and throwing some punches and taking some hits. He's finally
he can still do it. Yay!
Yeah. I was wanting to see how long this was going to go.
Did he get a "You Still Got It" chant?
He should have. If it was on Raw, he would have. SmackDown would probably edited it out. But he looked great. Finally competing. This match the last few minutes was a lot of fun. It was tons of chaos. A lot of people flying, a lot of super kicks are happening. And it ends with Neville hitting the Red Arrow, But then distraction from the referee, Del Rio super kick, Ziggler super kick. Everyone's out of the ring. Sheamus comes in. Bro kicks Neville. League of Nations get the win. And they are kind of hinting that they might do something with New Day, which to me makes no sense.
I thought that at first, but then I think they're doing something else in New Day, which we'll get into later on.
And hopefully that's what they're doing instead.
I kind of figured out, I like League of Nations overall, but I kind of figured out what it is about them that I think kind of irritates me. And I'm not trying to compare them to Evolution, but the best thing about Evolution was you had these 2 seasoned world champions and these 2 up-and-comer, guys that's going to be the future of the WWE. Very much so. You can in some ways compare that to League of Nations. You have these 2 former world champions, and obviously, with the rumor of Barrett leaving, and maybe it kind of does throw a wrench in it. But I don't know. I just feel like they should emphasize the fact that these guys are multiple-time world champions that are in this group. Like, they don't emphasize that enough. It just feels like they're all just kind of like, oh, well, this guy's representing Ireland. This guy's representing.
But shouldn't they then also be, like you said, kind of pushing the future? Shouldn't they be pushing Rusev more than in that scenario?
Which is overall, I think they all can get a good push. They're all still relatively young, maybe not young in age, but still relatively young. Like, they're not retiring anytime soon. Obviously, Del Rio just came back, and I feel like they're still underusing him. I don't know. I just feel like they should emphasize the fact that this is a group made of like these superstars, these world-class superstars, and I don't think they do that enough.
And I really think they got so much talent in that group and just not using it at all. I mean, this to me has turned into arguably the worst stable in the last 15 years. But I mean, they could save it if they make some adjustments. Let them win some stuff.
If you would have said 20, I would have said the Union was pretty bad.
I mean, this might be the worst since the Union.
The worst with high caliber wrestlers. Yeah. Because X-Pac's group with him, just incredible, and
I didn't hate the X Factor.
I like the X Factor as well.
I thought it pushed A-Train.
You like their entrance music?
I like the Uncle Cracker entrance music.
Oh wow!
Look up X Factor's music. We need to play that.
Well, they had a few different ones, but my favorite one was the Uncle Cracker one.
Yeah.
Uncle Cracker, Legends of the Hidden Temple.
This is a fun.
We are throwing it back today.
I'm more than just professional wrestling.
Yeah.
I know all this kind of stuff.
He's got enough time on his hands to watch everything on TV too.
That's right. I still watch reruns of Family Matters.
Wow.
Remember Snick?
Saturday nights.
Yeah. Duh.
Are you afraid of the dark?
I'm kind of.
I didn't watch
because of that show.
I didn't watch that show. I didn't watch that show. I was curved. There it is.
And then they always added the X Factor. X Factor. Hell yeah, dude! I love this theme song.
Come on, Jimbo, you're listening to this now and you're like, it wasn't that bad.
It just it starts and then it goes into that song and you're like, wait a minute, who's coming out right now?
Every time I see that, Albert, I think of the Hip Hop Hippo.
Yes.
When it was teaming with Scotty Too Hottie.
Yep.
But yeah, maybe one of the worst in the last 15. And I feel like Jimbo said, I feel bad because these guys they're not like. I'm gonna get heat for this, not like maybe Josh from Tough Enough, but they're not exactly the social outcast. These guys are multi-time champions. Barrett multiple time Intercontinental champion,
King of the Ring.
Faced Cena at WrestleMania. Obviously, I wish these social outcasts had a bigger push. In out together or individually, but yeah, they're kind of on that same level of the social outcast. I love the social outcasts, but you know what
social
I mean.
Outcasts
I hope
great.
people know what I mean when I'm not trying to job out.
Remember, he's at G Hermoza on Twitter, Instagram, MySpace, Friendster, Snapchat, Classmates.com, Ancestry.com,
AIM,
MSN, NetZero.
And by the way, that was my username on Napster. G Hermoza.
What's your tout, George?
Wow.
Yeah, what do you have a tout? What's your tout?
I do have a Periscope that I never use. Is that still a thing?
I don't think so, no. No.
What's my tout?
No, you can keep your MySpace, but just forget about Periscope.
Kevin Owens is backstage earlier in the day with Renee Young. He's praising Dean Ambrose, talking about how he gave so much heart at the match on Sunday, and then on Raw, driving up in the ambulance, coming in, challenging Lesnar. He respects that. He admires that. And because of that, he wants to give Dean Ambrose his rematch for the Intercontinental Championship tonight on Smackdown.
Aw, he's so sweet, Kevin Owens.
Renee tells him that he's not there, and he's like, what? He's not here? Oh, dag nabbit, he doesn't get his shot then. I guess I have the night off because there's no one else who was worthy enough of being in the ring with me. Out comes a very large individual named The Big Show.
By the way, it goes without saying, but Renee Young looked amazing in that blue dress. Some things just go without saying, though.
I love her so much.
It
almost makes me scared for her how much you love her. Like, I feel like the need to warn her when they come to LA.
But if it's Ryback, oh my god, it's Ryback. You don't see me? I don't have a Renee Young t-shirt.
I couldn't club Ryback over the head and drag him off to a remote location and keep him there for days.
Well, this is getting interesting. Go on, guys.
I mean, you could.
That's just what I picture him doing to Renee Young. I'm sorry.
Ryback or me?
You.
I would never do that.
Oh, well, that's good. Anyway.
He's like, I use chloroform.
It's very.
Google it.
It's very clean abduction that George does. So Big Show challenges Kevin Owens to a match.
Where do you think Sarah Lee has been?
Trying to learn how to wrestle.
That's random.
George has her.
Oh,
I get what you're saying.
That's why she hasn't improved in her wrestling.
No. If anything, you would say. And why do you think Gigi has never been signed by WWE? Because nobody can find her.
Well, yeah, you did love her too.
Big Show wants to KO tonight. We shall see if he does that in a little bit.
So clever,
isn't it? He's a wordsmith.
Yeah.
By the way, his Austin podcast, he was really.
That was the best Austin podcast so far on the network, in my opinion. You should. You'll learn a lot about Big Show.
I will.
I learned a lot about him on that show. I liked it a lot. Also, the Edge and Christian show, The Totally Reeks of Awesomeness, I thought was pretty good.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, you guys were so amped for that. You approve?
It's good. I mean, it has better moments than others. Mm-hmm. I think Funaki steals every episode. I'll just leave it at that.
Well, we could have guessed that.
I feel like they have a lot of jokes that are like, wow, I can't believe they went there. Like, even during the clip, they were like, when Vince was talking to Christian, like, what? I hate you. I've always hated you. Don't you read the internet? I'm like, oh, that's actually really funny. Yeah. That's really, really funny.
Jimmy Uso one-on-one with Devon Dudley. First off, Dudley's on the microphone before the match started saying, nobody's getting tables, talking about the same stuff they've been talking about the last few weeks. And this match, I wish we put a stopwatch to this match because I swear it was less than a minute long. Super kick by Jimmy, goes up for the splash. Bubba then pulls out a table from the ring. I thought they eliminated all the tables, guys. Why are there still tables under the ring? I am confused. This distracts Jimmy, Jay, and the referee. The ref is then talking to Jay to put the table back, completely forgetting about the match and Bubba. Jimmy goes up to the top rope. Bubba shakes it. He falls off it. Devon rolls him up, gets the win. And what we can forget about, I guess, these two teams being involved in the tag title match. We were thinking Usos would somehow be involved with New Day at Mania. But it's clear that they're just going to have those guys have a separate Mania match.
I feel like we're going to see like a 4-team, like with like Uso, Dudley's, maybe the Ascension, maybe like 2 of like the Social Outcasts for like the pre-show. For like the number 1 contenders thing.
I'd be okay with that.
But I feel so bad because the Usos still haven't been on a WrestleMania, even though, except for this last year, they've been one of the best teams, and
they've always been in like kickoff matches.
Yeah. I feel bad so bad for them.
Oh, I did love that kickoff match that they were in, though. The one time, remember, Natty and Trinity came out. And
the matches are always great.
But there's something about actually being on the main show. Like, maybe it's the same to them, maybe it's not. But there's something about being on the main show that just,
Yeah. I'm sure it's not the same to them.
No, it's not the same to them.
I'm sure it's not.
Now we get the recap. We touched on this a little earlier. Shane McMahon is back. This segment on Raw went 31 minutes without a commercial break, and it could have gone for another 300 minutes. It was insane. Honestly, the last time I remember a crowd being that loud was when Ziggler cashed in the Money in the Bank, and this might have been louder. He was first time back in, when was the last?
2009.
George, you would know. 2009. So 7 years. First time he's back on TV. He drops the bombshell that he wants to take over Monday Night Raw. They bring up the reality stuff of stocks have gone down, ratings have gone down, everyone's getting hurt, needs some fixing, which was Very interesting that they did that live on the air. And now we got him being Undertaker's opponent in Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania. What do we think of that match? Christy, begin.
I think it's going to be good for a couple of old guys. I really do. I think we'll be impressed. And there really isn't anyone else who could have taken. We talked every week about who could be Undertaker's opponent.
Thank God it's not Braun Strowman.
Right? And this works, and I think we're going to like it. I think people are going to be pleased.
And don't forget, it's in a Hell in a Cell.
Yep.
That's one of the major components. And if anybody's ever seen a Shane McMahon match, not all of them, maybe like the majority of them, holy crap. Many, many times they are the match of the night. In my opinion, Kurt Angle versus Shane McMahon, King of the Ring 2001, that match truly is one of the best matches that nobody ever talks about.
It was a phenomenal match, but you touched on the key thing there. That was 2001. We're in 2016. It was 15 years since Shane jumped corner to corner on Vince at WrestleMania 17. I am super excited for this match. You know Shane is going to jump off the cell. You know that's going to happen. I don't want people to think that this is going to be just like the Shane McMahon from 15 years ago. Because how many wrestlers have come back in several year phases and been just good, if not better? I mean, there have been some like your Shawn Michaels.
Plus, he's not exactly a wrestler either.
Exactly. So it's just like, take it with a grain of salt. The Hell in a Cell is a good feature for it because they can use that obstacle towards the match. But here's the tricky thing. Everyone wants Shane McMahon to win. But nobody wants Undertaker to lose at WrestleMania. So who are people going to cheer for?
Tune in and
that's the question.
That
is the question. Because it's just like, well, unless you somehow turn Undertaker heel in the next few weeks, which can certainly be done, I don't see them doing it.
What if they bring back the Ministry and like the old cross and like Midian? I
was just gonna say, as long as you bring back Midian, then we're good.
As long as he's not naked.
Yeah, no, clothed Midian.
I feel like I see Undertaker winning, but as we've all seen with stipulations, that there are many times where stipulations don't follow through. Like they'll do it and they're like, oh, by the way, next week, John Cena's fired because he didn't have Wade Barrett beat Randy Orton when he was his ref. Oh, but guess what? He's back 7 days later. Yep. I'm sure they're still going to find a way for that whole excitement of Shane maybe taking over to come into foray.
Yeah, and we have a couple weeks. Maybe Shane will get in there and like really mix stuff up and make us all hate him. You never know.
After that pop he got, I don't think anybody will find a reason to.
So.
And I just love that whole like kind of blurring that reality line as well, where it's like it's fiction or scripted, but a lot of that's kind of real, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part of that segment. The fact that it's kind of like you wanted it to keep going because you wanted more of that kind of banter of like between Shane, Stephanie, and Vince to kind of go back and forth. It's like, wait, keep going. Oh my God, what's in the lockbox, or what things like that.
Spill more personal family drama. Yay!
That's what, like, literally. When was the last time they went a half hour without a commercial break?
Even like the reality, like I never knew Shane's kids' names until this past Monday.
I didn't know he had 3 boys.
Yeah, no, me neither. But it's one of those things where you always kind of forgot about it. You're like, wait, Triple H and Stephanie's got 3 girls. Man, like who's gonna like after that? But now Shane comes back in the picture. Now he's got 3 boys. Oh my God!
Oh wait, their last name's McMahon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so then we got all that stuff in there too.
Technicality.
Yep.
Poor girls.
So we'll have plenty more to discuss over that over the next several weeks.
I guarantee that one of the daughters is going to marry a wrestler.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's just their world.
There's no way, like, one of them is going to marry a wrestler.
Oh, sure. For sure.
And then they'll take over the company together.
And live happily ever after.
Yay.
Like, who just had a kid? Like, who's got a kid?
Kofi Kingston.
There you go.
Little Kofi marries the Triple H's kid.
Yeah, could happen.
Let's start the rumors now. Jericho and AJ Styles are backstage. First off, Chris Jericho's wearing an Uso shirt. Jericho talks about how he's been a 5-time WWE Tag Team Champion with 5 different partners. And he feels that him and AJ, they could maybe work their way up and become Tag Team Champions themselves.
Benoit, Christian, Rock,
Big Show,
and
Miz?
No, he wasn't. Edge.
There you go. So AJ wants a WrestleMania moment. He's like, hey, this could be a good idea. But they're like, well, if we beat the New Day tonight in our 6-man tag, we're going to kind of move up the ladder then, but we need a partner. And out comes the world's strongest man, Mark Henry. Still unfinished business with the New Day, and he wants to teach them a serious lesson. And they picked him because they realized neither of them had Funaki's phone number.
He's a private guy.
Yeah, I mean,
Indeed
he is. And speaking of Attitude Era characters, we then have the recap of the announcement that happened on Raw. The newest WWE Hall of Fame inductee, the Godfather. How many elegantly dressed women will be accompanying him on stage? That should be our tiebreaker for the predictions.
Yes.
But now here's the question: is Godfather deserving of a Hall of Fame?
A lot of people don't realize just how popular he was during the Attitude Era.
Oh, he was extremely popular.
Over.
Oh no, he was definitely. This is the thing. He was around a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Various characters, did them all very well.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple-time Intercontinental Champion. So he definitely has.
Not just one.
I thought he held it twice.
Just once.
Really? Well, you would know that better than me. All right, I thought he held it twice. One-time Intercontinental Champion.
You guys aren't convincing me that he warrants this Hall of Fame induction.
But I'm just saying, like, the longevity and the different adaptation of characters, on that end, I feel like he does. However, when you look in, like, history books of people who really made, like, an impact in professional wrestling, while he was certainly known in the Attitude Era, I don't know if he made the type of impact that I personally would deem Hall of Fame worthy.
See, when I think
he's
Attitude
right
Era,
on the fence to me.
When I think Attitude Era, I think more like the Godfather instead of like Austin, because Austin could have been like in any era. Raw could have been in any era, things like that. I think Attitude Era, Godfather fit best in that era. Maybe that's I don't mean that as a knock for him. I just think that to me that was like peanut butter and jelly. They just kind of fit together, and he was kind of a big component of having why the Attitude Era was so successful.
Oh, that's giving him a lot of credit. Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, and they always talk about the thing that really made the Attitude Era successful was everyone wanted to be the star of the show. Everyone wanted to have the match of the night. Mm-hmm. Everyone wanted to have the moment. And he certainly did that time and time and time again. I'm on the side of, to me, Attitude Era was DX, Austin, Rock, etc. Not necessarily, I mean, he was a great factor towards it, but I'm not putting him at the forefront. But I understand your argument, how some people would. But guys like him, guys like Val Venus, guys like New Age Outlaws, specific, not necessarily DX Outlaws, but just New Age Outlaws, guys like Goldust. So I get that they all definitely had the pieces that needed to make the Attitude Era as successful as it was. I don't put them in the forefront of it, but I understand why some people would.
With the Attitude Era, I think it's highly overrated. Everybody says it's like the greatest thing ever because of, you know, the TV 14 or the TVMA, whatever. And I just think it was more so the characters. It was the rise of Steve Austin and The Rock and DX, and those guys could have gone in any era, no matter what TV 14 or TV PG is. Obviously, you know, the middle fingers kind of helped, you know, but I mean, you're taking away just how good Austin was. Like, one of my biggest pet peeves is when they say, "Oh, if it wasn't for the curtain call, Austin would have never won King of the Ring, and then he would have never had that promo." He would have found another way to get over.
Yeah,
well,
you know?
yeah.
He would have won something
he was
else.
that good, you know, and so. For yes, they were kind of at the top of the list of the Attitude Era, but they could have been successful in any era.
So yeah, well, we'll talk about, because obviously there are going to be plenty more inductees announced over the next few weeks, so we'll be talking plenty more about it.
One of them better be the Freebirds.
The chat roll keeps talking about China, and unfortunately, that is never going to happen.
That ain't happening anytime soon.
But I'm with you.
Big Show versus Kevin Owens. Big Show having his way with him, choke slams him early in the match. Big Show started climbing the ropes. Kevin Owens was trying to climb up with him, trying to like suplex him off, which is not smart. But then he outsmarted the big guy, pulled his foot off the ropes, causing him to kind of have his private area destroyed by the top rope. Big Show falls out of the ring. We then have the world's fastest 10 count in the history of WWE. And Kevin Owens wins by countout, grabs his title, and runs. Just runs far, far, far away. So I'm curious. I'm like, is this going to continue, or is this kind of a one-time thing? Because they also highlighted your boy, Christy, Ryback walking out on Big Show and Kane on Raw. No Ryback tonight, but maybe a sign of things to come either with Big Show or with Kane. Really hasn't had a long singles feud with either one of those. So maybe that's something that might be happening.
Yeah, let's create some heat for that Andre the Giant match.
Oh, I was just thinking a one-on-one match, but I would prefer that. Mm-hmm. Have the storylines take place in the Battle Royal. That's good.
That's my prediction.
Divas action, Natalya versus Becky Lynch. This match only went about a couple minutes long. Good respect from Natalya and Becky going back and forth. Out come Naomi and Tamina, causing trouble because that's what they do.
They're bad.
They're team bad.
Because of unity.
You did that much better than you should be able to.
I practice a lot.
I believe
How many hours a day in the mirror do you do?
Mirror in the car.
Oh, I thought you would also look at yourself in the mirror when you do
I do that. I do that for other stuff.
Unity. No more unity here. They come out, cause a DQ, ganging up on Becky after they beat up Natalya. Sasha comes out and makes the save. Then comes out Charlotte with her dad, who today, February 25th, is actually Ric Flair's birthday. Today, officially.
Oh, wow.
So, happy birthday, Nature Boy!
Woo!
Woo. And I can't do it. Whenever I do it, I hurt myself.
You can't do it?
No. Woo! Well, that
good.
That was nice.
That was probably the best one I've ever done. I just do like the arm slap part, and then I'll knee drop a jacket,
And then the flop.
and then I flop. Charlotte announces that this Monday, Sasha and Becky will compete for the #1 contendership for her Divas title, and she will be ringside. AKA, I'm going to interfere in the match, and that means, hey, neither of them get a title shot. Oh, wait, no, now it's a triple threat. Like, it's clear as day.
Sounds good to me.
I mean,
I'll take it.
I'm thrilled with that. It's just like, I'll be shocked if they actually have a winner in that Sasha-Becky match.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yep. Where am I from there? Heath Slater, Social Outcasts versus R-Truth. The rivalry continues. As soon as the match begins, Goldust comes out, wants to try to even the odds and try to make up for what happened on Sunday, where he accidentally cost R-Truth the win at Fastlane against Curtis Axel. We get Golden Truth chants, which means it's working. Mm-hmm. And I'm enjoying those two together. I think it's very entertaining, and it's good that they're doing something. We were looking up some ages outside. R-Truth and Goldust, we decided no longer when they begin teaming up, they can't be announced as a combined weight. They have to be known as a combined age. The two of them combined to be 90 years old.
Jeez. It's crazy.
But they're still incredible athletes.
It's literally, it's like
R-Truth is still jumping and doing those splits that no one else on earth could do.
Yeah.
I mean, except George. I see George do that quite often.
Well, I'm not 40. I'm not in my 40s.
No, but you're still doing that.
That's
I mean,
right.
It's impressive. I mean, maybe you
I'm
just
very
do it.
flexible.
Maybe you could do it like here, like at the end of the show.
Maybe at the end. Maybe after the cameras start rolling.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll let everyone know how it went then. Outcast trying to interfere in the math. R-Truth is trying to give Heath Slater a backslide. Refs are distracted by the Social Outcast. Goldust hops up, uppercuts Slater, allows R-Truth to hit the backslide. Truth gets the win, and him and Goldust finally are seeing eye to eye a little bit. And this makes me happy.
Yeah. They're going to be buddies real soon.
Maybe they're going to be in that
I'm dying to
four-way.
know where this is going.
Maybe they're going to be in that four-way tag match on the pre-show.
Oh, yeah.
Perhaps.
Calling it.
Perhaps. We don't have too much time left, but we got to kind of get into the last couple parts of the show. Recap of Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar from Raw with the vicious beatdown that Lesnar gave Ambrose. He broke a car. He broke Ambrose's body.
I thought it was a lot worse when he literally stepped on him.
On his head.
Yeah.
On his freaking head. Lesnar is not a skinny guy. Like, he's like 280, something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And that's all on the side of your head? That's a lot.
I mean, no wonder he's unstable in the brain, you know?
Things like that. And we find out we will have a no-holds-barred street fight with Brock Lesnar and Dean Ambrose at WrestleMania. Yes.
Thank you.
That
Really?
we're talking about blood earlier. There will be blood in that one. I can almost guarantee that.
I wonder where Lesnar keeps his razor blades.
He doesn't have any.
No, pretty sure he does.
His skin is just that sensitive.
No, he just makes himself bleed. Main event time: New Day versus Chris Jericho, AJ Styles, and Mark Henry. First off, New Day on the microphone, which is always gold. They hope the League of Nations are done messing with them. So again, they brought them up, and that alarms me. And they're talking about Mark Henry still believes he's the world's strongest man, and they have a nice little laugh about it. And Xavier Woods mentions that the New Day ride together, they eat together, they work out together, and they bathe together. And Kofi, you
just like us, guys.
I'm nodding in agreement to the camera. But I love Kofi. Kofi, like you meant for him to be heard, but he had the mic away from his mouth. He was like, why are you telling him? Match happens. First off, the big thing in the match is AJ Styles was dancing with Mark Henry and Jericho.
Yeah, and impressively, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, it was good. It was
Sure.
good. We give him props for that. Come on.
Sure.
He had style.
Wow. What a play on words that was.
That was a really good one.
You feel proud of yourself right now?
A little bit.
All right. I liked Big E did his splash on Jericho, but he did it along with Xavier Woods delivering a leg drop, so it was extra painful. I haven't seen them do that together yet, which I liked.
No, it was cool.
We finally have AJ hit. I never knew the official name of this, but thanks to Mauro Ranallo, the Capadore, which I pretty much call, it was like
a back
an outside moonsault that he
DDT.
lands on his feet into an inverted DDT. But it's a Capadore into the inverted DDT, hits it perfectly. Kofi goes for the Trouble in Paradise, but Chris Jericho, he's like AJ Styles' Secret Service agent.
That's really nice of him.
He pushes AJ out of the way, takes the bullet, aka the kick, to the head, and then AJ and Woods battle out a little bit. AJ locks in the calf crusher, gets the win, and maybe this is going to lead to New Day versus Y2AJ. Is that where we want Jericho and AJ Styles to be at WrestleMania? Do we want them in a tag team race?
Personally,
no.
And
Big
why not?
Fat no.
And why not?
Yeah, explain yourself.
Well, there's enough tag things going on right now. The tag division is strong enough. Like, let's just let the taggers do what the taggers do, and let the solo guys do what they do, which is fight each other, and it's good. Or someone else, at least.
See, I know a lot of people are gonna say like, "Oh, AJ Styles in a tag match at WrestleMania? Huh, like what a big mistake he did by signing WWE."
Yeah, it's a bad use of resources, is what it is.
He's there for the long run.
Mm-hmm.
Him being in one tag match this year has nothing to do with what he's going to do next year. You know, obviously he's only 2 months into the WWE.
Sure.
You know, and also too, it's like he can always have great matches at SummerSlam. You know, at Survivor Series, whatever. But I'm happy at least that not only will the tag title match actually be defended on WrestleMania, but I'm happy that the New Day get to be on WrestleMania, not on the pre-show.
No, so well, they earned a major match.
And then I know that if they end up facing AJ Styles and Chris Jericho, that's not going to be on the pre-show.
Oh no.
So I'm happy if they end up doing that tag match, because if they don't, then you're always going to think like, man, is New Day still going to be on the pre-show? Because I mean, at first maybe a lot of people were probably thinking like, what is AJ Styles and Chris Jericho going to happen at WrestleMania again, or not again, but after Fastlane, but. No, it looks like, especially the way Jericho saved AJ Styles.
I was pretty much thinking that like they were gonna show like the respect, like they did this week, and then Kevin Owens comes out and makes fun of them, and we have a triple threat with the three of them. But if we're gonna have the triple threat Divas match, then obviously we're not gonna have a triple threat in a Continental title match. But George, I agree with what you're saying. AJ ain't leaving anytime soon. There's no harm in him if they do a tag title match at Mania. He's in a title match at WrestleMania. He's going to be on the main card. You're with definitely the hottest team of the last year. And you're teaming with Jericho, who is always crazy over. So that match will be huge. That match will be hugely anticipated. That match will have a nice package. New Day is going to have a tremendous entrance. I'm calling it right now. New Day is going to head to the ring at WrestleMania on unicorns. They will ride actual unicorns. They will find them.
I mean, even going back to what AJ, even, a year before WrestleMania 30, Daniel Bryan was in a tag team match, and look what he ended up doing the following year.
He did okay.
Yeah, but look how anyone's career can be over unexpectedly like that.
Oh, yeah, but
I'm looking at everybody that way now. It's not
no
like
one's going to predict that.
It's not like, let's give AJ Styles, he'll be fine. He can do something cooler next year. It's like, no, look what's happening to people.
To hop on what Christy's saying, look at Fandango. Fandango is like rocket up his ass, being shot to the moon, wrestled Jericho at WrestleMania, beats him, and then wah, wah, wah.
And that makes no sense as to why they stopped with him.
And another thing is, like, the only thing that sucks is, like, only 2 of the 3 New Day members get to participate in the match.
Unless it's a handicap match.
Which
They've done it before.
Kind of cool.
They've done it before where it'd be like a handicap match 2 against 3, even though the 3 has the belts, and because I think they did Unforgiven 03. It was like the Dudleys against like all 3 of like La Resistance or something like that. I don't remember. But yeah, I mean, I feel that every one of New Day deserves to be in that match, even though it's just the tag team champions. But what was I gonna say? But yeah, going back to what it is true. Like anybody, and I say it all the time, where nobody at WrestleMania 31 who left as champion is wrestling at WrestleMania 32.
Yes.
That's never happened before.
Yeah.
I was in traffic today, and I was like, has that ever happened before? Close. But
Let me check my brain.
Yeah, seriously, that's exactly what I did. That's exactly what I did when I was in traffic this morning. Yeah, I mean, that's still kind of like shocking, or freaky in some ways, Like nobody
because of all the injuries.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone who left as champion WrestleMania 31 is not competing in WrestleMania 32.
Mm-hmm.
But that means we have a whole new crop of people to cheer for. Mm-hmm. And we'll be cheering for them and figuring out the WrestleMania card as we get closer and closer to WrestleMania. It's about, 5 weeks away now?
38 days.
38 days. So that's just over 5 weeks. We got lots to talk about over the time being. And you guys can continue chatting with us on the various forms of social media. Apparently, George is on every form of social media. So, George, why don't you remind people how they can reach out to you?
GHERMOZA on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, PSN, soon to be Twitch, MySpace, LiveJournal. The joke's getting old.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Agreed.
Christy Olsen.
Well, everybody, I would really, really appreciate if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel at Christy Reports. Follow me everywhere at Christy Reports. And, yeah. I think the kickoff match is going to be Stephen Amell versus Stardust.
Oh, I forgot about that match.
And that might be happening too.
So tweet me and tell me what you think.
Well, I don't know if they would do that for the kickoff match.
I don't think they do a celebrity match for the...
Not for the kickoff.
At WrestleMania, maybe?
Well, not in the kickoff, on the actual card. But we'll see.
But it's all on the network anyways.
We got 5 weeks to figure that out. Follow me on Twitter at Will Rosenberg, Instagram, the Will Rosenberg. Again, a great birthday present to me will be you buy this t-shirt that I'm wearing to Talk Rosie Talks. Maybe Christy's Christian Rosenberg t-shirt. Or there's the Rosenberg Above Hate, which George conveniently left at home. You can buy all those t-shirts at ProWrestlingTees.com/Christian Rosenberg. Jimbo, plug your Twitter.
At the Jimbo Slice, and check me out on the Lucha Underground show at 10 o'clock. We have Katrina
in the house, live in studio, right?
Yes, sir.
There it is. And, of course, for all your other AfterBuzz TV news and gossip, follow them on Twitter at AfterBuzz TV. For Jimbo in the booth, George Hermoza, and Christy Olsen, I am Christian Rosenberg. We will see you later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.